Hi, my name is Milan, and I'm a product manager here at Koridor. Here's 3 tips to improve your communication with your development teams. Let's get going. As a manager, it is essential that you know how to communicate with your development team. This type of communication is different than communicating with other teams in your company. Developers are unique individuals who can work hard and sit in one place all night long coding away. Because of this, they need managers who can effectively communicate with them using clear and concise sentences. In this video, we will discuss some tips on how to effectively communicate with your development team. So tip number 1 is to communicate with logic. When communicating with developers, it is important to use logic. Developers code with intention, and they assume that everyone communicates with intention. This means that you should take the time to craft your sentences carefully and ensure that they make sense. Furthermore, avoid using jargon or technical terms unless you are certain that the development team understands them. Tip number 2 is to communicate with concise sentences. Now, in addition to communicating with logic, it is also important to communicate with concise sentences. Developers are very busy people, and they do not have the time to waste reading long-winded paragraphs. Therefore, make sure that your points are clear and easy to understand. If necessary, break down your points into individual statements. Here at Koridor, we use simple, friendly statements when we're conducting our emails, making our project stories, in every communication that we can. Now, tip number 3 is to set clear expectations and goals. One of the best ways to communicate with developers is to set clear expectations and set clear goals. Developers are driven by process and by structure, so they will appreciate having a solid plan to follow. As a manager, it is your responsibility to ensure that all team members have a clear understanding of their roles and their responsibilities. Furthermore, you should also establish timelines and deadlines to keep the team on track. In order to communicate well with your development team, you must ensure that you communicate with logic, you communicate with concise sentences, all the while you set clear expectations and goals. Communicating with your development team doesn't have to be difficult. In fact, it can be quite easy if you follow our simple tips. By communicating with logic, by being concise, setting clear goals and expectations, you can ensure that your developers are productive and happy. We'd love to hear your problems, and we'd love to help. If you enjoyed this content, please be sure to follow us, like, subscribe. My name's Milan, Koridor out.